What is the difference between culture and civilization? Culture is the moral, value-based, religious, intellectual, and behavioral component of any nation. Your religion, morals, and behaviors are called culture. They are the laboratory, the university, scientific research, the laboratory, the factory, the company, and the bank account. These are called civilization, and there is absolutely no relation between culture and civilization. It is possible for a nation to be morally atop the world but materially poor, and the opposite could be true. Culture is one thing and civilization is another. Civilization advances with time, as there are the Stone Age and the Atomic Age. There is the Stone Age, then the Bronze Age, then the Iron Age, and then the Atomic Age. And today we are in the post-atomic age, where there is progress in civilization, but culture has no progress at all. For example, our utmost hope is to follow the footsteps of the righteous predecessors who died hundreds of years ago. Progress in culture is to advance morally, religiously, and ethically, and this is not tied to time. Therefore, a nation in the depths of Africa may be more culturally advanced than the capitals of Europe. The West today is experiencing concrete progress on the civilizational level. Yet on the cultural level, it lives the same initial ignorance with all its decadence, dissolution, and degradation. There has been the emergence of immodesty, adultery, and blatant immorality among them, and infanticide has returned once more, resulting in piles of fetuses being killed every day. Because they are the result of relationships outside the circle of marriage, the West is currently experiencing a degraded phase in the history of culture on a cultural level. The family has almost collapsed in the West, and more than half of the children in the West are born outside the circle of marriage, as I pointed out in a previous report. As for the rates of rape, the situation is beyond description. Whenever culture declines and immorality and lewdness increase, rape rates rise. Therefore, the most promiscuous and immoral countries in the world have the highest rates of rape. And therefore, the highest 6 countries in rape rates globally are mostly Western countries. This Western material and civilizational advancement was not accompanied at all by any cultural progress. In fact, the West is at the lowest levels of culture throughout human history. The cultural level of a nation has no relation to its civilizational level, and it is possible for progress to occur in both together, as happened in the time of Islamic civilization. A regression in both aspects can occur, as in some African liberal countries like Liberia, and to the extent that the corruptions of Western culture have affected us. However, the Muslim countries still adhere to pure monotheism, the monotheism brought by the prophets, and Muslim countries are still among the least societies in the world in terms of consuming intoxicants and committing the sin of adultery. Moreover, the Islamic countries still have, without a doubt, the lowest rates of AIDS prevalence. While Germany embodied the highest level of civilization in Hitler's time, and the Germans were calculating the energy required to reach the nearest star after the sun's energy runs out. But in contrast, Germany on the cultural level, it was the lowest culture on earth, permitting the extermination of entire human nations considering their people as non-humans or of a lower degree than humans. Tens of millions of people were annihilated by the Germans in the insane World War II. There is no relation between civilization and culture. The problem is that the atheists and the secularists always entice you with Western civilization and scientific and technological advancement. While we are keen to make progress, the game that atheists and secularists play is that they entice you with this civilizational progress to present you with Western culture with the other hand. A deceitful game. There is no connection between culture and civilization. We wish to advance civilizationally, but in a way that serves our religion. We advance in a way that preserves our return to the path of our righteous predecessors. We adopted the means of progress and emerged from the cloak of material dependency on the West.